Alright guys, today we have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover, so we're starting here with Stellar Blade. I know a lot of you are very excited for Stellar Blade. There seems to be quite a significant amount of hype for this game. The reviews have officially dropped, and if we head over to Metacritic, as of the time of this recording, there are 98 total reviews, and it's sitting at an 82 at generally favorable. Now, if we break down these reviews, 83 of them were positive and only 13 of them were mixed. And if you kind of go over these reviews and see what is being said, generally speaking, it seems as though most reviewers are letting us know that the game is very polished, it's very high quality, and it's doing a lot of things very well. Some of the standouts specifically are the combat, as well as just the overall performance of the game and some of the boss battles. It seems like one of the weaker elements may have been the overall story and maybe the character development. If we go to the mixed reviews, that seems to be where most of the negativity is kind of coming from. But again, 83 positive, 13 mixed. Way more people who reviewed this game are saying good things about it than mixed things. And the really good news here is there are 0 negative reviews. Again, as of the time of this recording, I'm sure there's still going to be a couple more reviews that haven't come in yet. But yeah, I think a lot of people were very curious to see how this game would review, and to me that's pretty good. An 82, not bad. And so let me know what you think about that. But continuing to talk about Stellar Blade, Digital Foundry released their tech review, and I actually want to go over a performance summary that was put together by a user Throw Me Away 1784 over on Reddit. The performance mode is 1440p with basic spatial upscaling to 4K, partially locked 60 FPS, barring minor drops in some heavy cutscenes. And then we have balanced mode. There's a dynamic 1080p to 1440p resolution, temporal reconstruction up to 4K for cleaner image fidelity than performance mode, and sometimes even cleaner than the quality mode. Mostly sticks to 60 FPS, but can dip to the low 50s in demanding areas, a perfect mode for those with a VRR display. And then finally, we have quality mode, which targets a native 2160p or native 4K with a dynamic resolution. Same simple spatial upscaling method as the performance mode, and it's locked at 30 FPS. And so, yeah, generally speaking, Digital Foundry is saying that this is a very polished action game. In fact, they're saying it's an ultra polished action game. And so again, this is kind of a standout for Stellar Blade. It seems like they really optimized this game very well for the PS5, which I think is good news, because I think a lot of people are kind of tired of getting these AAA game releases that it's not that they're like terrible, but you could tell like they could definitely use some more optimization. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below if you're planning to pick up Stellar Blade. We're moving on to the next topic, which is a very interesting update regarding PlayStation Studio Media Molecule. We have our first official confirmation that Media Molecule is in fact working on a brand new IP. This was discovered on a job application on the official Sony Interactive website. It's for principal programmer art technology. And again, this is from Media Molecule, and there's a specific section here under key responsibilities that says partner closely with the wider programming team to define and champion technical requirements and standards for Media Molecule's new IP. Now, look, I think it's been fairly obvious since we heard about the update regarding the studio and the fact that they were kind of done with Dreams and moving on from that. I think it was fairly obvious that, well, okay, they're going to work on a new IP. But then again, maybe it wasn't so obvious, right? A lot of people were thinking, could this mean they're going back to something like Little Big Planet, or maybe continuing with something like Tearaway and trying to make that more of a franchise? It seems like they're opting in to do what I think is the best thing, and that is create something brand new. The big thing I want to know about Media Molecule's next game, I mean, it's going to be a long time until we see it, because you have to imagine they just started working on it. But what I'm hoping for is it's a proper game with a beginning, middle, and end, right? I think Media Molecule has to be the most underutilized PlayStation studio by a mile. It's not to say that there was anything wrong with Dreams, but it just seems like too much time went into Dreams, and Dreams unfortunately didn't really go very far. And in that time, you have to imagine how many, normal or regular games could we have gotten from a team like Media Molecule. We know that we have Team Asobi making the Astro bot games, which I think is great. It's nice to see Sony kind of had this diversity. I think Media Molecule has the opportunity here to kind of step it up and I think really make a comeback. So I'm rooting for them. I hope that they can put together something great. But yeah, for those wondering, Media Molecule is working on a new IP. Now, moving on to the next topic, we have another report regarding a PlayStation studio, this time Fire Sprite. This is being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle. It looks like the PS5 horror game in development at PlayStation Studio Fire Sprite survived the recent cancellations, and according to its programmer, it will be targeting 4K and 60 FPS. Fire Sprite is one of the developers hit with recent PlayStation layoffs, which also resulted in its Twisted Metal live service game being canceled. Sony never officially announced Fire Sprite's horror game, but in 2022, job descriptions leaked its existence. With PlayStation undergoing mass layoffs and cancellations, many feared the project was dead. However, a Reddit user spotted the portfolio of its programmer, William Webster, who detailed his work on the project. Webster has since locked down the page in question, but it has already, made its way out there, and there's really nothing that can be done. And so it says here, Webster, who has been working for Fire Sprite for a number of years, confirmed that he worked on a narrative horror game for more than 2 years, and one of his main goals was to ensure it ran at 60 FPS at 4K resolution. And it's also worth noting that this game is being developed in Unreal Engine 5, which is certainly worth pointing out because there's been a lot of conversation recently about whether or not we can expect, future games in Unreal Engine 5 on these consoles to run at 4K 60. Well, at least according to this developer at Fire Sprite, that was his main job. And so really got to wonder what this horror game is. A lot of people are beginning to speculate that it's actually going to be Until Dawn 2, which would certainly be very interesting. And I think what makes it more believable is the fact that we are getting an Until Dawn remaster. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about that down below. Moving on to the next topic, we have a update on a game known as Project Awakening. We are getting confirmation that this game, believe it or not, is not canceled and that the developer is actually working hard behind the scenes. We have not heard from this game in literal years, and I think a lot of people just came to the conclusion that it was vaporware. But it says here, being reported by Gaming Bolt, in 2021, we commented on the development of Cygames' Project Awakening and how Grand Blue Fantasy Relink wasn't the only action RPG taking a while to cook. Fast forward to 2024, and while Relink has done well for itself, the former is still nowhere to be seen. Fortunately, the development team updated fans on Twitter, assuring them that the game has not been canceled. And so, yeah, if we look at their Twitter page, they say, "Hello, our team has some important messages for you. 1, our game has not been canceled. 2, we are working hard behind the scenes to bring you the best experience possible. Stay tuned for more updates in the coming months. Thank you for your continued support." Now, I also want to point out the timing of this. We've been talking like crazy here on the channel about a May PlayStation Showcase. All signs are pointing to the showcase being real and happening. I mean, what better place for a game like Project Awakening to re-reveal itself for the PS5? Again, this was a game that was announced many, many years ago. In fact, it was announced in 2016, which is insane. So I don't blame anybody for thinking that this game was ultimately going to be vaporware, and it still could be, but it's nice to get this update from the development team. I am beginning to wonder if this is going to show up at a new PlayStation show. But moving on to the final topic for the video, we have a new PS5 system update being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle. Sony has rolled out PS5 System Software Update 24.03-09.20.00. I'm not sure why I decided to say that whole thing, but this is the update for April 2024, the patch notes for which detail new features. So the update is 1 GB, and this is what it's delivering. Game Help has been expanded by adding Community Game Help features. In Game Help, you will see hints labeled Community Game Help in supported games, which indicates that the hint was generated from other players' gameplay videos. You can participate in Community Game Help by allowing your gameplay video to be automatically captured and added to the feature upon review. So in order to do this, you have to go into settings, go under captures and broadcasts, and then when you're under captures, auto captures, community game help, and then select participate. So yeah, you do have to opt into this, and this is something we already talked about. This is a pretty significant feature. What this is essentially going to do is, as it's saying here, if you're stuck in any part of a game, there will be way more guides out there, I guess, or little video clips to show you what you need to do, except they're not actually being made by the developer. They're just being made by people playing the game, and you can do this yourself by opting into it. It's actually a very cool feature. I think that this may actually breathe new life into the community game help section, and maybe this is something that Sony should have considered doing from the onset. So other than that, we have update for remote play. It says in remote play, if the persistent message remote play connected is displayed during your time in remote play, you can now hide this on your game screen. And of course, as usual, they say they've improved system software performance and stability. So there you go. It's not like a major update, but I think it does add a pretty significant feature that I'm actually curious. Let me know in the comments if you're going to opt in to participate in the community game help, or if this is something that you see yourself utilizing. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.